Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next
getting...
question.
Yeah.
I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game.
Angel Reese is a very good player, but she's ugly to watch. Have you watched her play? She's a typical WNBA. She's great on the offensive glass, rebounding, but watching her play, terrible layups. The reason people are captivated by Clark is the way she plays, like Steph Curry. And the thing that I don't like people making it race. I don't think it's in the league that's race. It's jealousy that she's so popular. But there's lots of major white female WNBA megastars that nobody cared about.
She's the only player in the league that will say this shit. She's the only player in the league. Like, you won't hear Aja Wilson going out there. I am at the top of the scouting report. Ariel Atkins is at the top of the scouting report for your team. Camila Cardoso is at the top of the scouting report. Teams just box you out.
The reason why I feel like she isn't unfairly criticized is because I'm not gonna go into the bad guy, good guy. At the end of the day, Angel faces everywhere, right? And so when we talk about marketability and her inability to finish, her inability to do certain things, I think it goes to that. So I'm gonna keep it a band with you. I agree that if she gonna be the aggressor, then be the aggressor. At the same time, if you're gonna throw punches, you gotta take them. And so I felt like, to your point when you said, I bet she did. You can't see me because Caitlyn did it. Right. Absolutely right. But now when you come in the league, right, and you fall in, you know what I'm saying? You got your 13 and 13, but now it's not translating to winning.
If Angel Reese was someone who ever held her tongue and was someone who had been a no comment machine in the past, someone who wasn't so unapologetically Angel, all those things existed, people wouldn't look at her recent no comment and just say, you've always had a comment before.
Please tell me it's a fake quote. Please tell me this is a fake quote. Because this is something where it's like, everyone says, and it's like, oh, Angel's a developing player. It's like, oh, she's only in year 2. Why is everyone like going at Angel Reese and all this stuff? And, you know, oh, people can't stop talking about Angel Reese. This better be a...
At this point, it's genuinely hard to tell if she actually believes what she's saying or if she's just trolling the entire WNBA community for sport. Either way, mission accomplished, I guess. Because no matter how lukewarm her on-court performance might be, she has found a way to keep herself firmly in the conversation. It's marketing brilliance, wrapped in what many see as on-court mediocrity. But we've all seen the trick. We know how this show ends. And no amount of self-promoting pep talks is going to magically turn this perceived rivalry back on. It's not a rivalry when one side is soaring into the stratosphere and the other is still arguing about the launch pad. Angel Reese is giving lead actress in a show she was never actually cast in. She's got the monologue, she's got the costume, she's got the press junket sound bites all ready to go. But the show is already airing, and she's not even in the opening credits. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here, breaking records with the same calm, consistent energy as someone just ordering their morning coffee, completely unbothered by the noise. And maybe, just maybe, that's what stings the most. Not just that Caitlin's getting the praise, the headlines, the 8-figure endorsement deals, but that she's doing it all without the drama, without the grand declarations, without the desperate need to constantly remind everyone that she too matters. The scoreboard, after all, doesn't care about your post-game spin. And while Angel Reese is out here campaigning for recognition, Caitlin Clark is simply too busy building an empire to even look back over her shoulder. But hey, if this is her grand declaration of equal footing, the league just answered by putting Caitlin Clark on another national broadcast, and Reese's game in the 2 p.m. slot that nobody streamed. And that right there is the real scouting report.
But I will say, Angel Reese, Ronnie and I have debated it on the program. Ronnie has been pretty clear that he thinks that she sucks at basketball. I have defended her as having dimensions of her game that are high level. I got to a point here a couple of weeks ago where I was starting to wonder if she actually sucked.
Even funnier is the fact that this "they're watching me too" energy would have made a tiny bit of sense back in college. Back in their LSU versus Iowa days, sure, Angel had her moments. She flexed. She dominated the paint. She racked up double-doubles like it was a TikTok dance trend. But now, in the pros, the scouting report has decisively moved on. There's a new headline act in town, and it's not even a close contest. Caitlin Clark is getting keyed in on by defenses like she's holding the nuclear launch codes. Teams are literally drawing up entire novel game plans just to try and slow her down. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is out here playing 26 minutes, scoring 6 points, and then acting like she just broke the Matrix. The only thing she seems to be consistently breaking is her fans' patience. It's like showing up to a Beyoncé concert, weekly singing 3 notes from the very back row, and then asking why your name isn't on the official ticket stub.
Of scouting reports after talking to some teams, even if it's not offensively, which I think that's what it is. You know, she is the best rebounder in the WNBA, so they're probably telling them like, hey, we have to figure out how to keep Angel Reese out of that paint when that ball is clanging off of that rim, okay? You know, the fact that Angel Reese finds Cardoso for the high-low post pass, I think that's one of the main things that the Chicago Sky like to get to if it's not the pick and roll. So
instead of perhaps reflecting on her missed rebounds or a few sloppy defensive possessions, she's apparently decided the problem is that she's just too darn important for opponents to ignore. As if defenses are panicking, as if coaches are circling her name on the whiteboard like it's a national emergency. If she's being scouted so intensely, it's probably with a little note at the bottom that says, "She'll talk, she'll bark, but she probably won't bite." Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is the reason opposing defensive coordinators are aging in dog years. Every single game Clark plays turns into a full-on high-stakes crisis summit for opposing coaches. While Angel's being scouted like an optional side mission in a video game, Caitlin is the final boss.
Completely criticize Angel Reese because Tyler Marsh condones this. Tyler Marsh reinforces this. Tyler Marsh is this point forward Angel Reese. This is Tyler Marsh's deal. This is Tyler Marsh's gig. In order to get Camila Cardoso the ball, he needed to fix some things up, switch some things around. And in this most recent preseason game, a game in which Angel Reese had 3 rebounds, I'll take that every day of the week.
And yet, here comes the latest quote, dripping in unshakable confidence and seemingly completely detached from the reality unfolding on the hardwood every night. Because in Angel's world, simply being scouted means she's a problem that needs to be solved. In the real world, it often means coaches are just trying to figure out if she's going to foul out before halftime or inadvertently start another mid-court drama episode that goes viral for all the wrong reasons. You've got to respect the hustle, though. She has successfully turned an average on-court performance into an elite-level campaign of narrative manipulation. It's like watching someone walk into a gym, airball 5 consecutive shots, and then confidently ask the reporters if the cameras caught their offensive dominance. Angel Reese is doing the PR equivalent of standing in the middle of a messy food fight and loudly yelling, "I started the revolution."
My gosh. Is this for real? Is this really for real? But I'm going to show you this video because if you haven't seen it yet, you're going to absolutely fall out of your chair laughing. I know what I'm going to call this. I'm going to call this the curse of Dave Portnoy. Barstool Sports El Presidente. He went on a rant about that Ryan Clark stuff, and he said all he had to say about Angel Reese and Ryan Clark and that whole mess. And I will say this, his rant cursed Angel Reese because she proceeded to have the absolute worst game of her life.
What makes this claim even funnier is the idea that opposing teams are burning precious hours of practice time, breaking down film on how to defend her, when half the time, she seems to be her own biggest defender, mostly from her own Twitter account. This isn't a rivalry anymore, folks. It's a rerun. Caitlin Clark didn't just run away with the spotlight. She packed it neatly in her gym bag, threw it over her shoulder, and left the arena before Angel even realized the show had started. She's not in competition with Angel anymore. She's competing with history, with legacy, with the ghosts of basketball legends past. Angel, meanwhile, is often competing with her own box score and frequently losing. As one commentator put it, after talking to some teams, even if it's not offensively, she is the best rebounder in the WNBA. So they're probably telling them like, hey, we have to figure out how to keep Angel Reese out of that paint when that ball is clanging off of that rim. Ouch! Even her strengths are framed by others' misses.
Trying to stay consistent as possible. Obviously, I struggled in the first couple of games. Just staying poised, trusting my work. I have great people in my corner. I never really questioned my ability of what I can do. Obviously, you go up and down through your career. And thinking in the beginning it's going to be my sophomore slump, but I got out of it in my first couple of games, and I'm here and helping the team win as much as I can. That's the most important thing to me. I'm happy.
You mentioned Sunday about those first few games. At what point do you feel like you maybe had kind of that like switch foot moment? I feel like you were getting back on the
I think I started a New York game.
Let's talk numbers, shall we? Because they tend to cut through the noise. Caitlin Clark is over here, rewriting the WNBA history books like it's a college thesis she's about to turn in at midnight. She's breaking records, stacking assists, and casually launching three-pointers from the logo like she's just ordering takeout from her favorite spot. Meanwhile, Angel's stat line this season has often been the on-court equivalent of a non-committal shrug, a polite but ultimately forgettable pat on the back. She's had maybe one game this entire season that made people sit up and say, oh, okay, that's the Angel Reese we were promised. A single standout performance amidst a veritable buffet of meh. And yet, somehow, she seems genuinely convinced that she's being triple-teamed every single game. Girl, please. If defenses are collapsing on you, it's probably by complete accident. There are guards in this league getting more defensive attention from opposing teams than Angel gets in her own team's post-game highlight reels.
Team wasn't any good. Yeah, that's basically what she said, is that her team wasn't any good. And it's rather amusing to listen to, but you know, if I didn't play it for you, you wouldn't believe it. But yeah, this is Angel Reese again, running her mouth and saying some stuff that you probably shouldn't say about your own team, but that's what she does.
Just when you thought the delusion couldn't possibly get any thicker, Angel Reese hit the media cycle with another absolute zinger. Apparently, teams aren't just scouting Caitlin Clark anymore. Oh no. They're diligently scouting Angel too. Yep. According to her, opposing coaches across the league have been staying up late, their coffee mugs trembling in their hands, whispering to themselves in dimly lit film rooms, how do we possibly stop Angel Reese? If Reese was someone who ever held her tongue, this might be believable. But coming from her, this is the kind of unearned self-assurance usually reserved for toddlers strutting around in superhero costumes, convinced they can actually fly. Because let's be real, if Angel Reese is at the top of any scouting report right now, it's probably labeled Chapter 1, contain the on-court antics, not Chapter 1, contain the unstoppable offensive stats.
It's time to put the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese conversation behind us. Caitlin Clark is unanimously our Rookie of the Year, and eventually she'll be the best player in the WNBA. And Angel Reese? Well, she's in the WNBA. Angel Reese is shooting 43.8% from inside 5 feet this year on 274 attempts. Now, let's think about some things that are more likely to happen than Angel Reese making a shot from inside 5 feet. Shaquille O'Neal making a free throw. Diana Taurasi hitting a three. Patrick Mahomes going to the Super Bowl. We can argue this until we're blue in the face, but numbers don't.
Article right here, man, released talking about Chicago Sky coach sends strong Angel Reese message after loss to Indiana Fever, right? So let's read what it says here. Chicago's loss to the Fever forced them to 2-5 on the season. They were finally gaining traction, winning back-to-back games against the Dallas Wings before they faced off against the Fever. After the loss to Indiana, Chicago Sky head coach Tyler Marsh responded to a question on Angel Reese's struggles, finishing the game against the Fever with 4 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. Marsh mentioned that he doesn't believe Reese struggled to make an impact against the Fever despite shooting 28.6% from the field.
Angel Reese didn't claw her way to the WNBA just to play second fiddle, while Caitlin Clark hogs the spotlight like it's a one-woman Broadway show where she's the writer, director, and star. Nope. Angel Reese wants her flowers, the whole damn garden, and probably the naming rights to the botanical conservatory too. So now, every side-eye she gives, every cryptic comment she makes, every on-court scuffle she finds herself in, it's all giving off major Notice Me America vibes. Because let's be brutally honest, Angel Reese didn't sign up for background dancer energy, while Caitlyn gets the solo, the spotlight, and the thunderous standing ovation. Welcome to the WNBA's most fascinating and frankly, most one-sided rivalry. Stick around as we unfold this delicious drama.